Coming up next on Newswatch.
The Athens Police Department continues to search for a serial sexual predator, but caution against posting tips on social media. Plus, Sibs Weekend at Ohio University is coming up. What students should keep in mind if they have siblings in town.
And in sports, two of the TVC Ohio's best faced off last night, and now there's a new team leading the pack. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens.
We'll have those stories for you in a minute, but first, breaking news for a Marietta officer and his canine partner. Good evening, I'm Caitlin Marshall. Thanks for joining us. Recently retired Officer Matt Hickey will now be allowed to buy his canine partner Ajax for $1. This story went viral a few days ago when it seemed like retired Officer Matt Hickey would be separated from his canine partner of 3 years. Officials said the dog would have to be sold at an auction because he was city property. Earlier this week, the city said it would allow Hickey to keep the dog if Hickey continued to work for the police department on a volunteer basis after his retirement. Hickey refused, noting he retired in January over health concerns. Hickey says he's speechless and very grateful that he gets to keep Ajax. And Athens continues their search for a serial sex offender with a new message for people sending in tips. The Athens Police Department is increasing foot patrols uptown as the search for the serial sex offender continues. APD says they have received 75 tips related to the case since they released the information about 3 sexual assaults connected through DNA evidence. The city says be careful about posting tips on social media. This comes after many OU students took to their personal social media accounts to post pictures and videos of a man they believed to be the serial sex offender based on a sketch released by APD. Tim Ryan, a lieutenant for OUPD, says while some tips can be helpful, they can also be hurtful to an investigation.
We have tried to embrace social media. We created Facebook and Twitter accounts within the last 5 or 10 years ago and really have tried to promote its use. And it has its place. It's probably not the best place to report a crime, but we certainly have gotten tips through it that work just fine.
Anyone with information is encouraged to send it directly to the Athens Police Department for a proper investigation instead of posting speculation on personal social media sites. The Ross County Sheriff's Office busted a meth lab earlier this afternoon. 23-year-old Cody King, 30-year-old Thomas Summers, and 36-year-old Branson Browning were arrested. King is charged with illegal manufacture of drugs, possession of chemicals with intent, and permitting drug abuse. Summers is charged with illegal manufacture of drugs, and Browning is charged with weapons under disability. And Ross County's experienced record-high drug overdose deaths for the second year in a row. There were 39 new fatalities caused by accidental overdoses in 2015. This is 8 more deaths than last year. Deaths from accidental overdose have continuously gone up since 2009. 12 cases involved fentanyl, an opioid 30 to 50 times stronger than heroin. And the search for an inmate of the Southeast Probation Treatment Alternative Correctional Facility is continuing. Orville Lee Mullet is wanted on a charge of escape after walking away from an off-facility job site. 3 inmates were taken to the Athens Hocking Recycling Center yesterday morning, but Mullet did not return. Mullet was convicted of 3 counts of felony theft last year. Authorities believe that Mullet may be with his girlfriend, Jessica McKee, in Piketon. If you believe you have seen Mullet or have any information of his whereabouts, please contact the Athens County Sheriff's Office at 740-593-6633. And one man might be on the loose, but another is under arrest in Ohio. The U.S. Marshals Southern Ohio Fugitive Apprehension Strike Team arrested alleged murderer Isaac Aben yesterday in Columbus. Aben had warrants for his arrest issued by the NYPD Bronx Violent Felony Squad on a count of murder. Aben allegedly shot 2 people after getting into a dispute in Columbus. Officers tracked down Aben in an apartment in Zanesville, where he was surrounded and arrested on the scene. Tonight in Athens, one group is fighting the proposal to make Ohio a right-to-work state. We Are Ohio, an opponent of right-to-work laws, is here tonight. Right-to-work laws are laws that allow employees to decide if they would like to enter a union. We Are Ohio decided to hold a town hall meeting in the wake of right-to-work laws being proposed in Ohio and passing in West Virginia. Advocates for right to work usually say that nobody should be forced to join a union, and encouraging workers to do so is unfair. But We Are Ohio says that workers in right to work states are paid less and offered less safety at work. Local breweries are racking up the awards this week. RateBeer.com released their awards for best beers in the country, and 2 local breweries were recognized. Jackie O's won the award for Best Brewer in Ohio, and Little Fish Brewing Company won for Best New Brewer. RateBeer.com tallied the scores from millions of reviews posted on the site. Those local breweries can expect an influx of occupants this weekend as Ohio University celebrates Sibs Weekend. But with more visitors comes warnings about giving underage siblings alcoholic beverages. Most students will welcome underage siblings, which could lead to problems when combined with bars on Court Street. But students should still be aware they have to answer to the university or police if caught underage drinking. The Ohio University Police Department says make sure to keep safety in mind this weekend.
I think that, like we tell everyone for general safety tips, is to avoid walking alone, especially when there's an influx of people that can make making crimes a little bit easier with the anonymity of being in a group. So stay with people you trust. Avoid walking alone. If you're of age, you're going to drink in moderation. Those types of things.
Ohio University is providing students and their siblings with alternatives to drinking this weekend. For a list of activities around Athens this weekend, check out ohio.edu/compass.
Welcome back to Newswatch weather. As we look currently, we are 34 degrees under partly cloudy skies with winds coming out of the northwest at 9 miles an hour with a dew point around 24 degrees. Around the region, we are about 34 degrees in New Lexington as well as in Athens and Jackson, with the highest being around 37 in Ironton. Hour by hour, we look through the night as it being partly cloudy with temps dipping into the mid-20s. Back to you, Caitlin.
A watchdog group is calling the Ohio Attorney General's relationship with the lobbyist for an anti-abortion group into question. The president of Ohio Right to Life sent a text to his communications chief complimenting press coverage when an investigation was released about Planned Parenthood. Records obtained by the Associated Press show Attorney General Mike DeWine and lobbyist Mike Gonadakis exchanged emails and text messages. Gonadakis says he did not have advance notice of the investigation. Watchdog group Common Cause says close relationships like this can affect public officials' objectivity. The case continues for a man accused of shooting an Ohio police officer. An attorney says there are 3 public defenders working on the case. Suspect Herschel Ray Jones III was jailed without bond yesterday after he pleaded not guilty. Jones is charged with aggravated murder in the slaying of Danville officer Thomas Cortrell back in January. He is also charged with assaulting an ex-girlfriend and a November burglary involving a weapon. 2 senators are making a pit stop in Cincinnati to gather public opinion on medical marijuana. Senator Dave Burke and Kenny Yoko are holding a forum at the University of Cincinnati. This is to discuss the possibility of making marijuana available for limited medical uses. This comes just as an issue for recreational use of marijuana failed in November. Other forums are planned for Columbus and Toledo. Clinton might have won Iowa, but Sanders is up in the polls. With the Democratic debate tonight and with a close race, the stakes are high. And one of the men indicted in the Planned Parenthood case is turning himself in. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
What's happening, TVC basketball fans? My name is Sean Neidig, the host of Hardwood Heroes. Hardwood Heroes is a weekly half-hour show that airs on WOUB at 11 Sunday night and again at 6 on Monday. We provide you with the best Southeastern Ohio high school basketball coverage in the area, both on our show and on the web. Our reporters are at over 20 games every week to recap, so there is no way you can miss us. So tune in to Hardwood Heroes on Sunday night. And until then, I'm your host, Sean Neidig, reminding you to be heroic.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
The candidates debate in New Hampshire tonight, fresh off of Iowa's caucuses. And with New Hampshire's primary around the corner, only two Democratic presidential contenders remain. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders made back-to-back appeals to New Hampshire voters in yesterday's CNN town hall. The Granite State is Sanders' territory in terms of its left-leaning voters and its proximity to Sanders' home state of Vermont. And with the self-described Democratic Socialist ahead in the polls, the stakes are high for Clinton. Reed Binion reports.
I have an uphill climb, and I'm going to climb as high and hard as I can because I want to make my case to the people of New Hampshire.
On the heels of a razor-thin victory in Iowa, Hillary Clinton is casting herself as the underdog in New Hampshire. But rival Bernie Sanders insists he's the one battling tough odds.
Of course we're an underdog.
New Hampshire may be the Vermont senator's backyard, but he says it's Clinton's stomping ground.
Secretary Clinton obviously ran here in 2008, and she won. Her husband ran here several times before that. So this is her fourth campaign in that family here in New Hampshire.
Wednesday's New Hampshire town hall was a clash of the titles as the political rivals fought for another important credential in the historically liberal state.
I am a progressive who gets results.
Secretary Clinton said, well, I'm paraphrasing, some people call me a moderate, and I proudly, say that I am a moderate. I love moderates, but you can't be a moderate and a progressive. They are different.
New Hampshire holds the nation's first presidential primary in less than a week, and it remains to be seen whether Clinton's progressive pitch will win over Democrats in the Granite State, where recent polls show Sanders with a double-digit lead. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
The debate starts tonight at 9 at the University of New Hampshire. The second of two anti-abortion activists involved in recording undercover video with Planned Parenthood officials turned himself in today. Last week, a Harris County grand jury indicted David Deladin and Sandra Merritt, each on a felony count of tampering with government documents. They're accused of making a fake driver's license to get into private meetings of abortion providers. The pair wanted to prove Planned Parenthood illegally sells fetal tissue for profit. Over the summer, undercover videos were released. A Harris County grand jury looking into Planned Parenthood turned around and indicted the activists. After a court appearance today, Deladin's attorney addressed reporters.
It's outrageous that it's David that's having to come and present himself to the court when it's Planned Parenthood who should be on trial today. The reality is David is a modern-day hero. He has exposed the wrongdoing that's been occurring in abortion clinics all across this country. And the fact that he is here today is a miscarriage of justice. And we believe that once this case is done, it will be dismissed, it will be thrown out, he will be vindicated, and we're hopeful that this DA will go after the real wrongdoers, Planned Parenthood.
The government has been investigating Planned Parenthood, but have found no wrongdoing. 4 occupiers are still in Oregon's Malheur National Wildlife Refuge, but 16 protesters are facing federal charges. Leader Amon Bundy and 15 others are being accused of conspiracy and using threats and intimidation to maintain occupation at the refuge. 11 of the occupiers are being held without bail after Levoy Finicum was shot last week. The protest has cost state and local agencies nearly $500,000. In Washington, Oregon Representative Earl Blumenau introduced legislation calling for the Department of Justice to quickly reimburse the agencies. On Wall Street today, the Dow and the Nasdaq both ended the day in the black. Here's a look at stocks of local interest.
We will see colder temps as they end the week, but could we see a nice dry weekend? All of that plus next on Newswatch.
Nestled in the heart of the Hocking Valley sits a town with a story. A story carved from mountains of coal, mixed with a little clay and sprinkled with a dash of culture. It's a story of national significance and local pride. A story rooted in the past that's still being written today. Join WOUB on March 19th at Nelsonville York High School for the premiere of Our Town, Nelsonville.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name, where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back to Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Jenny Garecki. As we look currently, we see that temps are in the mid-30s, around 34 degrees, under partly cloudy skies with winds out of the northwest at 9 miles per hour. As we look currently around the region, we see temps around in the mid-30s with 34 in Cambridge, New Philadelphia, as well as in Athens, with your warmest being down here with Ironton, with the coldest over here near Ripley. As we look at our almanac today, we see we're at round average with 40 as our high today, with the normal being around 41, and the lows were just around average at both at 24 degrees, with the record normally around negative 10 degrees. Luckily, we weren't that cold. As we look toward our precipcast, we can see that we are currently under a high pressure, which means no rain, thank goodness, and that high pressure will continue to move through. As we can see, a cold front will approach us start in the beginning of the following week. Overnight tonight, we see that temps will dip into the low to mid-20s with 24 in Ironton as well as in Jackson and Athens, with the coldest being around Columbus and Chillicothe under partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow we warm up again to around average with 43 in Ironton, with cooling up as we go north with 39 in New Lexington, as well as 37 in Newark under clear skies. Hour by hour, as we go through the night, we see that temps will dip down into the low to mid-20s under partly cloudy skies. So if you go out tonight,
What's happening, TVC basketball fans? My name is Sean Neidig, the host of Hardwood Heroes. Hardwood Heroes is a weekly half-hour show that airs on WOUB at 11 Sunday night and again at 6 on Monday. We provide you with the best Southeastern Ohio high school basketball coverage in the area, both on our show and on the web. Our reporters are at over 20 games every week to recap, so there is no way you can miss us. So tune in to Hardwood Heroes on Sunday night. And until then, I'm your host, Sean Neidig, reminding you to be heroic.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Sorry about the technical difficulties there, but welcome back. I'm Nathan Wiseman in sports. Ohio women's basketball did not look like themselves last night. The winners of 12 straight shot 28% from the field and fell to Buffalo 51-43. The Bobcats were hurting without their best defensive player, Jasmine Weatherspoon, who injured her ankle in last Saturday's win against Ball State. Now, even without Weatherspoon, this loss comes as a shock for Ohio, considering Buffalo was in the midst of a 5-game losing streak before last night. Weatherspoon's replacement, Hannah Bosinger, and the rest of the Bobcats have a pretty small window before Saturday morning's game against Northern Illinois. While the Ohio women's team remains in first place, 3 different men's basketball teams have held on to the top spot in the Tri-Valley Conference. 2 of the best squared off in Alexander last night, so to the alley we go, where Alexander, winners of 8 straight, welcomed the Vinton County Vikings. Seth Richardson dominated the first half, scoring 16 of Alexander's 26 points. He finished with 18 points and 3 boards. And then the dynamic duo of Mason and Corey Chapman got more involved in the second half, combining for 17 points, ultimately leading to a 59-54 Sparty victory. Now for the third game in a row, the third quarter has served as the Cleveland Cavaliers' kryptonite. The Hornets scored 33 points in the third quarter compared to the Cavaliers' 17 and went on to beat the Cavs 106-97. Hornets star Kemba Walker was ruled out with a left knee injury, so Lynn's sanity was in the air. Jeremy Lin dominated the Cavs, scoring 24 points, 8 assists, and 5 boards. This is only the second loss on the season for Cavs head coach Tyronn Lue. Cleveland will look to bounce back on Friday in the Q when they welcome the Celtics to town. Only one regular season game stands in the way of the Eastern Lady Eagles in the playoffs. Tonight they welcome the Lady Tomcats to the Nest for senior night. Last time around on January 4th, the Lady Eagles completely dominated Trimble and came away with a 57-20 win. Laura Pullins took over and scored 21 points and pulled down 9 boards. Now, 4 Trimble starters didn't play in that game because of injuries and illnesses back in January, so a lot of inexperienced girls received varsity minutes. But tonight's game could be much closer. Tip-off from Eastern is coming up shortly. The Nelsonville York wrestling team hit the mats last night for the OHSAA Regional Dual Team Tournament last night. Amanda Clear Creek won 9 of the weight classes, taking down the Buckeyes 42-25. Brian Heller, Colt Yinger, Tyler Spielman, Logan Bruce, and Donovan McCulster all received wins in Region 22 semis. The Bucks will host the Tri-Valley Conference meet on February 13th. Now, All-Star breaks typically give a glimpse of hope for fans that their team will rebound and have a better second half of the season. However, the Columbus Blue Jackets are still in post-All-Star game rut. They dropped the first game of a 3-game Western Canada swing on Tuesday night by a score of 5-1 to the Oilers. Tonight, they face the Vancouver Canucks, who may be a little rusty. They haven't played a game since their 2-1 loss to the Predators way back on January 26th. The puck drops tonight at 10 p.m. Thad Matta's Ohio State Buckeyes tip off against Wisconsin at 7 o'clock tonight. The Buckeyes showed some promise in their 66-61 loss to the now-ranked Maryland Terrapins last Saturday. Meanwhile, Wisconsin is currently riding a 4-game win streak heading into tonight's home game. I'm Nathan Wiseman, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Caitlin.
All right, thanks, Nathan. A would-be robber in Florida learned very quickly that if you are planning to rob a store clerk, make sure he isn't a seasoned military veteran. You can see the suspect holding the clerk at gunpoint and demanding money, but in an instant, the clerk turns the tables and begins pummeling him and even disarms him. The suspect got away, but probably won't be coming back. Not with this guy protecting the store.
Currently, at the bus stop tomorrow morning, you will see that we will be at a chilly 25 degrees under sunny skies. So if you take your kids out to the bus stop tomorrow morning, make sure they grab a heavy jacket and some gloves, as it will be really cold tomorrow morning. Hour by hour as we go through tomorrow, we see temps will climb into the low 40s, reaching 40 at about 4 p.m., as we will stay clear skies, so it will be pretty nice out tomorrow. Tomorrow we will reach a high of around 38 with, again, sunny skies, a little chillier than it was today, with winds coming out of the northwest at 0 to 10 miles an hour. As we look ahead to your 7-day forecast, we see 41 for tomorrow under sunny skies, but as we go into the weekend, we see we will have a delightful weekend. Even though it won't be as warm as it was last weekend, it will still be pretty nice under mostly sunny skies. But as we look ahead, we see that there will be a cold front that will move through Monday into Tuesday, bringing rain chances, with lows dipping into the mid-20s for Monday night and lows going into the teens for the following night. But overall, the weekend looks phenomenal if you want to get out and enjoy it, but you might want to enjoy it while you can, because it will dip into the low or upper 20s, low 30s as we go into next week. Back to you, Caitlin.
Thanks, Jen. It looks like we are not out of that winter just yet, but make sure you stay tuned to WOUB, and here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station. Now you've definitely got something exciting to watch tonight on WOUB if you're staying in to kind of beat those cold temperatures. But that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Caitlin Marshall. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can always find the latest news anytime online at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
What's happening, TVC basketball fans? My name is Sean Neidig, the host of Hardwood Heroes. Hardwood Heroes is a weekly half-hour show that airs on WOUB at 11 Sunday night and again at 6 on Monday. We provide you with the best Southeastern Ohio high school basketball coverage in the area, both on our show and on the web. Our reporters are at over 20 games every week to recap, so there is no way you can miss us. So tune in to Hardwood Heroes on Sunday night. And until then, I'm your host, Sean Neidig, reminding you to be heroic.